EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martich here with your outlook for June 19th, 2025. We have a lot to get into in today's video concerning severe weather and some heat coming into the region. First and foremost, the Thursday video forecast is proudly sponsored by Kleckner & Sons Appliances. Family-owned and operated, Kleckner & Sons have been serving the greater Lehigh Valley region since 1945. Kleckner & Sons are here to serve your appliance needs at two convenient locations in the Lehigh Valley, 2177 MacArthur Road in Whitehall and 575 Chestnut Street in Emmaus. The leader in sales and service prides itself on providing outstanding, continuous customer service from the moment the customer steps through the door. Kleckner's provides a wide range of name brand appliances and parts to target all of your appliance needs. They also offer professional delivery and installation options as well as repair services performed by in-house qualified technicians. From kitchen renovations to small specialty appliances to a new laundry repair, Kleckner's has you covered. For more information or inquiries, please contact one of their showroom locations or check out their website at klecknerandsons.com or give them a call. The phone number above me here in the video, 610-433-4202. Experience a small business difference for yourself. Shop at Kleckner & Sons Appliances, proud sponsor of the Thursday video forecast. So today we have a cold front moving toward the region, and that is running into a very hot and humid environment. Now, it's not going to be ridiculously hot for most of you. As you see above me, the temperature spread is 84 to 92 today. That 92 would be down in the I-95 corridor areas, so like from Newark all the way down to Philadelphia, the normal heat island areas. But most of us will be in the upper 80s. That 84 reading would be in our far northwestern areas out by Williamsport, Selinsgrove, those areas. But the rest of us will be in the upper 80s today for the most part. In addition to that, we have a very soupy, and I mean soupy, environment that we are going to be contending with again today. Yesterday was ridiculous. We were having, and I'm still sitting here when I'm recording this video, and I'm looking at the my weather station is saying it's 72.1 degrees with 100% humidity. So that means the dew point is the same as the temperature. And no, it's not raining. So the humidity was ridiculously high today. Dew points were ridiculously high. We're going to have that again ahead of this frontal boundary on Thursday. So it's a very high dew point environment. That's a key ingredient. Moisture is a key ingredient for any severe thunderstorm development, and we'll certainly have that today. So it's going to be another soupy day, and then we have this cold front moving through during the afternoon and evening. There'll be scattered showers and thunderstorms, and some of these are going to be severe. We go to the Storm Prediction Center and their outlook. Not much change from the previous outlook they had. Maybe moved a little bit further west, but this slight risk encompasses the entirety of the EPAWA coverage area, and that is indicated by the yellow here on their outlook. I don't expect much change of that with what I'm seeing tonight. But I'm going to use go a little bit different here. Instead of use the NAM. The NAM is a little bit, I don't think it's correct. I'm hoping it's correct, but I don't think it is, okay? So we're going to go over the NAM, or excuse me, the high resolution rapid refresh. Now, the reason I'm using this is the evening run that ran this evening, and the most recent run I have. The cold front here is actually at this point back here. Okay, so those storms are firing ahead of the cold front. This here is a prefrontal trough running ahead of it. Okay, so that prefrontal trough is actually going to become the focus, we think, of the severe weather, and that's what the Storm Prediction Center is banking on too. It's not the actual cold front, which will come through overnight, but this is the prefrontal trough that's giving these storms, and comes across here, comes across the state. You get some pretty wicked storms along this line. It's a semi-congealed line, not completely congealed. It might be down here, so across Maryland and parts of southeast PA, but you get some breaks in here where some areas might get absolutely smacked by a nasty thunderstorm. And a couple towns over, you're like, it was just a whimper, right? It's one of those days. So if you have a semi-congealed line, you'll have that. And where this exactly hits remains to be seen. But this environment out in front of this, because of those high dew points, I don't want to bore you to death with a model sounding, but this is just to give you an illustration here. Ample instability to work with. You got the classic inverted V signature here for for severe weather, and all these boxes that are highlighted in yellow are very favorable conditions for severe weather today. Does have a weak curvature for a weak tornado, but I don't think tornado is a primary threat today. Not impossible, but I think that if that happens, it's going to be further north, like I was talking about yesterday. It'll be over New York State. Might get down here to northeast PA, northern New Jersey as well. I think that's your best chance northeast of that line to see any tornadic development. But any kind of severe thunderstorm, regardless, can produce a tornado. It's not There's always some vorticity involved here where these can get spun up. But I think the primary mode here is going to be straight line wind damage. We said that yesterday. I still think that today is the primary severe mode. So straight line winds are unidirectional. They can be 50 to 60 plus miles per hour, and they can do damage. They can knock down trees. They can take out power. So that's one of the concerns we have with these line of storms moving through. And there's going to be the more robust parts of this line are going to be experiencing that. So it's not going to be everywhere, but you're going to have probably a very large severe thunderstorm watch put up at some point during the day here on Thursday. So this is starting off at 3 o'clock, and I move this forward. It gets over to the eastern part of Pennsylvania by 5, 6 o'clock. It gets into New Jersey after that point, about 8 o'clock. And then you have some residual showers moving behind it. So even at this point, this is still the prefrontal trough here. This is all prefrontal trough related. The cold front is still back here. Okay, that's going to come through overnight. But you see, because the prefrontal trough is stealing all the energy, basically, from the atmosphere, there's just a whimper behind it, not much in the way of severe weather trailing with the actual cold front. Okay, so the NAM is we're focusing on the same idea, where it has a prefrontal trough, but it doesn't really develop much along it. Not really, not like the high resolution rapid refresh is doing. Of course, the cold front is back here, just like the HRR has here, but it's not really developing too much, except in isolated cases, some stronger storms. Okay, and then moves east. It tries to congeal, but a little bit too late over South Jersey before it runs off the coast. And of course, the cold front trailing comes in too late because this is now 9 o'clock at night. You're losing your instability, and there's really not much left. The atmosphere has already been zapped, okay? So there's two different trains of thought here. I will say that the majority of the convective allowing models are siding with this idea, which is a more robust prefrontal trough. We will find out one way or another, but I want you to be prepared for the worst case scenario, which is in fact, the severe thunderstorm aspect and the damaging winds that go along with that. There could be some small hail too, but I don't think that's going to be a big issue. Frequent cloud-to-ground lightning, very high precipitable water content in the atmosphere, which means these are going to be loaded with moisture when they come through. So some very heavy rain and localized flash flooding can occur with any of these storms as well. They should be moving along pretty good. And at any given location, you're talking about maybe an hour or less of dealing with these thunderstorms when the line moves through. But it's going to be very heavy rain in that hour. And one of those deals where you can get like 3/4 of an inch in 45 minutes or something like that. So that's definitely possible. So be able to watch out for that. In order of severity today, it would be, we're looking at straight line wind damage as the primary threat. Secondary would be the heavy rain. Third would be frequent lightning. And fourth, as an honorable mention, would be the isolated tornado. If you do get something like that happen today, by the way, it's probably going to be EF0 type, but it's a non-zero threat. So I do have to mention that. Once we get beyond this, we are going to be cooler on Friday and low humidity. Enjoy it while you can, because the low humidity is not going to stick around. We have a partly or mostly sunny day here on Friday. Temperatures in the low to mid 80s and lower humidity as winds are out of the northwest. And then we get to Saturday and Sunday. The temperatures are going to increase. We get this big, gigantic high pressure sitting out here, Bermuda high sitting out here, and at the same time we have an upper level ridge moving in that's going to settle over the region early next week. Sunday is going to be the first day we think of the start of a heat wave for the majority of the region. That might start as early as Saturday in the I-95 corridor. There's a MCS moving north of us here this weekend. It will not affect us. And then we get it early next week. We're just mostly sunny, very hot temperatures in the upper 90s, maybe even touching 100 in the I-95 corridor. Here's that upper level ridge early next week. This is Monday afternoon, and it's just parked right over top of us. So 597 decameter ridge is very strong, and that means we're going to have some very hot temperatures. Now, the winds will be out of the west. Maybe even west-northwest Monday and Tuesday, so I don't expect the humidity to be absolutely ridiculous. Even though the temperatures are going to be in the upper 90s to near 100 in some areas, it's going to be a little bit drier. It's not going to be like it is now, not this soup sandwich stuff. I would say the humidity is going to be kind of like maybe moderate levels, but nothing really too high or too low, okay? So it won't be absolutely ridiculous with the heat. And we can see that starting here on Sunday with high temperatures getting the 90s across the region. Again, the I-95 corridor areas, Heat Island areas, Newark, Philly. They might hit 90 already on Saturday, but definitely by Sunday, most of the regions are in the 90s. And then we get to Monday, you're starting to see some upper 90s to near 100 in the I-95 corridor and mid 90s elsewhere. And we get to Tuesday. I think Tuesday is going to be the peak heating day of this entire stretch. Okay, I think it's going to go through Wednesday, maybe even Thursday for southeastern areas, but you're getting some 102 readings up in here, low 100s. I think it's going to actually be about 100 or so in and around the Philadelphia region up to New York, and I think somebody's going to see triple digits most likely by Tuesday. And then we have mid to upper 90s elsewhere. Once we get to Wednesday, not quite as hot. Again, it cools down a little bit, if you want to call it that, back to the middle 90s, maybe low to mid 90s in the interior. So it is going to come down a little bit on Wednesday, but it's just not going to. So I think the peak heating day is actually going to be on Tuesday of next week. And then we have a cold front that's going to be coming through here on Thursday. When I move forward to that could save the day with some scattered showers and thunderstorms. There is some questions about how far south this gets yet. So the southern areas might stay in the 90s here on Thursday as well. I'm EPA boy meteorologist Bobby Martich. That is your outlook for June 19th, 2025. Have a great Thursday.